Okay.
Hey, everybody, guess what? We're live. It's Friday. It's Halloween weekend, spooky weekend. We're here to kick it off with Alan. He's at Landmark Booksellers. He's got a book. He's going to give us all the creepy stories about Franklin. How's it going this morning?
It's going
Look,
really well. I
there's
mean,
the,
except for the rain.
yeah. But that just goes with the Halloween theme, right?
Yeah, but it's going to stink if it rains. Nobody can go trick or treating.
I think it'll be gone by Sunday. You were holding up your
I
book.
hope
Tell us
so.
the name of your book that you've written.
Yeah, it's Southern Ghost Stories, Franklin, Tennessee.
Southern Ghost Stories of Franklin, Tennessee. I love that. So tell me a little bit about the book.
Well, I used to work at the food line on Hillsborough Road many years ago, and I had a cashier call me one day. She said, "Hey, I can't come in." So I was like, "Are you sick? What's going on?" She said, "Well, we saw a soldier walk in my kitchen today, so I'm taking the day off." And what do you say to that? He's like, "Okay."
I saw a soldier walking in my kitchen. Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty
What
freaked
happened
out.
after that? What was the rest of that story?
I mean, she was just startled. She didn't know what to do, and then before she had time to react, he was gone.
Wow. So is that what gave you the idea to write this book?
Well, it kind of sparked it. I mean, I've written other books about Gallatin and Murfreesboro, but I always had that story in the back of my mind. And I worked out here, and I always heard things from time to time. You hear about people seeing things, the battlefield and Carton, and things that go bumping out on the square. And just once I finished the Murfreesboro book, I just dug right into Franklin.
And so, what was your research like for this book? How many people did you talk to? Did you get real life
Oh
experiences?
Lord. Oh yeah. I mean, I was knocking on doors. I was going in these shops on the square, going to the historic houses. I did an investigation a time or two around the square, just talking to people and hearing their stories, and then going to the archives, going to libraries, going through old newspapers, just researching the square. One of the things that no one really talks about is the fire codes. Like there was multiple fires in Franklin before 1935. There's no fire codes in Middle Tennessee. Everything's made of wood, and to fight those fires, you have bucket brigades, or you have people pushing a wagon with a pump on it that hooks to a cistern. And by the time we get things hooked up, the blocks have burned down. So there's a lot of
Wow.
really, in addition to the war, the fire codes were just wreaked havoc on Franklin.
Mm, wow. So have you, in doing your research, have you encountered any ghosts or you know, interesting encounters?
Well, the coolest story I have, we were at the White Building. So back before it was the White Building, it was Robert Bradley's home. He was a businessman here on the square. Well, the night of the war, or the night of the Battle of Franklin, every building became a hospital. So what happened was, I think it was 1910, they built the White Building. It was a doctor's office for Dr. White. Well, like as soon as it was built, he died a few months later. He contracted a virus from one of his patients. Well, and today there's Starbucks in the corner, and you have the eye doctor and the mattress store. So talking to these folks in the building, Starbucks is saying, well, we have a drummer boy in our basement. The optometrist told me there's a bugler in our basement. The mattress guy said, well, there's something in the basement. I don't know what it is. So I got a friend of mine, Mark Walsh from Rutherford County Paranormal. We came up here, and he has thousands of dollars worth of machines and equipment and stuff. And I'm kind of an amateur ghost hunter, but he's all in. So he has this box called a geoboard and can scan the radio waves. And supposedly, the theory is the spirits can use the sounds to speak and form words. And I've had some weird things happen with it. So we were there that night. We're down there in the basement, and we're just getting nothing. So I'll pull up my phone, I get on YouTube, and I'll play the Battle Hymn of the Republic, and everything just goes nuts. All the lights are going, there's words coming out of the machine. So I go up to the examination room where things have happened, things have moved, and people have been touched. So it's the same thing, we're getting nothing. I play the Battle Hymn of the Republic, everything goes nuts. So finally, Wendy, the lady who works there, she said, what's your name? And out of the box it goes, Drake. So she said, did you say Blake or Drake? It went Drake a second time. She goes, did you say Drake? It went yes. So three confirmations that Drake is the guy who's there. So I go home, I start Googling, I go back to the archives, I'm
Wow.
at the library. Thomas Jefferson Drake was in 10th Ohio. He was a drummer, and he died in the Battle of Franklin. So I can't say for sure he was treated in the Bradley home, but he was in one of these hospitals, and maybe he died there in the Bradley home, which became the White Building, and his spirit's down there in that building.
Oh my goodness. You kind of gave me goosebumps and chills as I'm listening to that. That gives me a whole new perspective when I go downtown. and go to Starbucks in that little corner. Wow. Well, you're there at Landmark. You're signing your book. If people want to come by and meet you and hear more stories, tell us how long you'll be
Yes,
there
ma'am.
today.
From 10 to 2.
10 to 2. And then tomorrow's Pumpkin Fest, and you'll be back, and people can also come by and hear more stories and get your book. Where will you be tomorrow?
The Franklin on Foot booth here up on the square. It's not too far from the bookstore, actually.
Okay. Not too far. Go check it out. If they want to purchase your book, if they're not in town or whatever this weekend, tell us how they can get it.
Oh, you can get it at the Lowe's House. You can get Landmark Booksellers, also Amazon.com.
Amazon.com. Southern Ghost Stories in Franklin. And you've done Murfreesboro, Gallatin. What's the other cities?
I've done one called Haunted Hotels, which is a bunch of hotels I've been to in the Southeast, like Union Station in Nashville, Thomas House, Red Bowling Springs, some places in Savannah, New Orleans, just various places around the Southeast I've been to. But Gallatin was the first really big one I did, and Murfreesboro, and now Franklin.
Wow. All right. Thank you for those real live ghost stories today instead
Yes,
of the made up ones. And you guys, please go check it out. All right. Thanks, Ellen, for joining us. We'll see you again soon.
yes, ma'am. All right, bye-bye.